everyone, it's Sherry Carroll here for Simon Says Stamp for a quick tip video on using your embossing paste and stencils. I have a couple stencils here that I'll be working with. One's from Perky and one is from Hero Arts, and some regular plain cardstock. I'll be using Wendy Vecchi's embossing paste, and they come in several colors and they're made by Dreamweavers. So here I have a small selection. There's another one that I don't have here, which is a gold one, but this is the black, and it's a really rich black paste. There's also the metallic silver, which is a really nice smooth silver, and the regular white paste, which is really handy and quite versatile. To start off, I will use some black paper. I'll just do a little bit of tone on tone, and I'll use this herringbone type stencil from Hero Arts, and I do like to line these up and use a little bit of painter's tape to keep these in place, so when I'm doing my embossing paste they don't shift around. So I'll just use a little bit of tape and just secure it down onto my card and the stencil. You can also use a longer strip of the tape to mask off the rest of the stencil if you want to just do a row or two with your embossing paste. So here I'll just mask off the entire left side of this stencil, and now I can pull out my embossing paste and get ready. There are several tools that you can work with the embossing paste, and I happen to have some that I've had around for a long time, but Vista Decor makes a really nice palette knife that you can use with these. Mine are plastic, and there's a bunch of different sizes. I think I got at an art supply store. So I'll just go ahead and reach into the embossing paste jar, and I'll just slowly just press this paste right into the stencil. I'm actually pushing the paste down more than I am spreading it across the stencil. That way, if you push it down in, it won't shift underneath the stencil. But once I have enough paste on here, then I like to get out my favorite tool, and that would be like a Starbucks card or some other type of craft tool. And now I'll just run this over, and this just takes off all the excess embossing paste, and I can put this back in the jar. And it also gives me a really smooth surface on my embossing paste. So just go ahead and run that over a couple times. You can also make sure and smooth everything out just by giving it a couple swipes with a larger card like this. So now that I have that well covered, I'll go ahead and remove my tape, and I'll gently make sure I don't get my fingers in the way. And this paste will take about 15 minutes to dry. I'll go ahead and lift this up so you can see how this looks. And I do like the black on black look. It just is really elegant. It almost looks like a tire tread to me. But I do want to try something else with this. I was thinking about it and to see how it works. So I'm going to get a piece of paper underneath me. I also want to cap off my embossing paste so it doesn't dry. But I have the Tim Holtz dry glitter, and this is the rock candy glitter, and I thought it would be really fun just to sprinkle this on top. And it will dry with the embossing paste, so I won't have to use any other glue or adhesive. So I'll just go ahead and sprinkle that on and tap off the excess, and that gives me a totally different look. Next, I'll be using the Perky Triangle stencil, really cute, and I also have my white embossing paste, so I'll be doing a white on white look. And I'm using a little bit smaller tool here, but I'll go ahead and start spreading, and I'm going to speed this up a little bit so you can just watch the process. Once again, I'm spreading it around, and it is about the consistency of frosting, so I'm just going ahead and making sure I have all the little areas filled in. And using a smaller tool is probably not the best idea. If I wanted to single out certain triangles, the smaller tool would work better. But once I have enough on there, I'll go back to that Starbucks card and go ahead and spread everything out. I've given my embossing paste a chance to dry. I've also cleaned off my stencil right after using. And here I'm using a little dauber and Hero Arts Butter Bar ink, and I'm just going to color in some of my little triangles here. So I have my tape up at the top, and I can use it like a hinge so I can check my coloring. But I'll go ahead and dip my dauber into the ink and just highlight a couple of these little triangles. So I can just either tap on them or go in a circular motion and just add ink. What's really fun about this technique is you can change colors as you go and have a whole mix on your background. Another fun thing to do with the white embossing paste is to add some color. And here I have a little container, and I'll just scoop out a little bit of my embossing paste and put it into my container. And a little goes a long ways. I don't know if you noticed how much of the embossing paste I ended up putting back into the jars. But here I have my dilution spray, and this is vibrant turquoise, and I'm just putting just a very little bit into the bottom of my cup. And I'll use my container as a little mixing bowl, and I'll go ahead and cap everything off so it doesn't dry out. But now I'll start mixing my paste into that dilution spray, and it gives me quite a bit of concentrated color, just like frosting if you think about food coloring and white frosting. Once I have that well mixed, I can go ahead and spread this onto my small tag, and I'm using the Hero Arts border stencil. So just using my small knife, I'm spreading that around, and I'll go back in and use my Starbucks card. I'm going to put a piece of paper down here since it's a small tag, and now I can smooth everything out. So I'll go ahead and clean this up a little bit, and then I'll pull my tag out, and I have colored dimensional embossing paste. I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial on using embossing paste with stencils. Thanks for watching.